Root beer stands out as one of the quintessential American beverages, alongside apple pie and baseball. Its roots trace back to indigenous North American tribes who concocted their own versions using locally sourced ingredients like roots, bark, herbs, and spices. Despite the abundance of canned and bottled drinks available today, homemade root beer has persisted, evoking memories of enjoying ice-cold bottles on hot summer days. Around a century ago, a young pharmacist from Philadelphia, Charles E. Hires, obtained a family recipe for a delightful herb tea from a farm boarding house operator. He transformed it into a dry tea mixture known as Hires Root Tea, comprising 16 wild roots and berries. When mixed with water, yeast, and sugar, it fermented into a delicious carbonated beverage. Hires' friend, Russell Conwell, proposed rebranding it as root beer to appeal to a broader audience, particularly Pennsylvania coal miners. The name change, despite the beverage being non-alcoholic, resonated with the masculine image associated with beer, boosting its popularity. Debuting at the 1876 Philadelphia Centennial Exhibition, Hires Root Beer garnered acclaim, leading to widespread distribution in drugstores and soda fountains across the nation. By 1893, it became the first mass-marketed bottled root beer, solidifying its status as an iconic American drink. While the specific ingredients varied by region, homemade root beer typically included essential ingredients like black birch, wintergreen, sassafras, and sarsaparilla. Some recipes even featured additional ingredients such as hemlock tips, spice wood bark, licorice, dandelion, dock roots, coriander, Jamaican ginger, bayberry leaves, hops, and winged seeds of the water ash. Sweeteners like beet tops, molasses, honey, or maple syrup added the desired sweetness. Despite changes over time, the basic root beer recipe has stayed true to its origins. Most commercial brands utilize black birch essence, ginger bark, vanilla beans, hops, and undisclosed root extracts alongside artificial flavors. However, one notable omission is sassafras, which the Food and Drug Administration has prohibited due to its medicinal properties. Not all traditional or commercial root beers relied on sassafras as their main ingredient. Barqs, one of Hires' early competitors, introduced its sarsaparilla-based root beer in 1898 under the simple label Barqs. In 1919, Roy Allen established his root beer stand in Lodi, California, which later gave rise to A&W Root Beer. Allen's innovation included serving his homemade root beer in frosty mugs, a practice that became synonymous with A&W's brand identity. Another notable brand emerging during this era was IBC Root Beer, which remains popular today. The ban on saffrole, the aromatic oil found in sassafras root and bark by the FDA in 1960, marked a significant turning point. Laboratory studies showed that animals given large doses of saffrole, present in sassafras tea or oil, suffered permanent liver damage or developed various types of cancer. Consequently, commercially mass-produced foods and drugs containing saffrole were prohibited. Although sassafras is no longer used in commercially produced root beer, it has been replaced with artificial flavors or natural extracts with the saffrole removed. Hires was a savvy marketer, employing aggressive advertising tactics across various media platforms, including magazines, newspapers, and even his own line of collectible trading cards to boost the Hires Root Beer brand. He famously quipped, "Doing business without advertising is like winking at a girl in the dark. You know what you're doing, but nobody else does." When leaders of the temperance movement wrongly accused Hires Root Beer of containing alcohol and threatening boycotts, Hires, a prominent Quaker himself, vehemently defended his product's integrity. Refuting the claims, he commissioned lab tests that demonstrated his root beer contained less alcohol than half a loaf of bread. Turning the situation to his advantage, Hires rebranded his product as the Temperance Drink and touted it as the greatest health-giving beverage in the world. These slogans resonated during the Prohibition era of the 1920s, when soft drinks became favored over alcoholic beverages and soda fountains became popular social hubs across America. Despite its enduring popularity, root beer faced a regulatory hurdle in 1960 when the U.S. Food and Drug Administration banned the use of sassafras in commercial root beers due to its carcinogenic properties, altering the course of history. However, root beer enthusiasts need not despair, and there's still a wide array of delicious options available today. Redstone Foods proudly stocks over 50 varieties of craft root beers in glass bottles, offering customers a taste of American history to savor. Here are some of the best-selling root beers available today. Dad's Root Beer. Among the top-selling root beers today is Dad's Old Fashioned Root Beer, a beloved classic that has been delighting taste buds since 1937. Known for its creamy and spicy flavor profile, Dad's has garnered a dedicated following of root beer enthusiasts across the nation. Whether enjoyed ice-cold on a scorching summer afternoon or savored slowly alongside a scoop of creamy vanilla ice cream in a timeless root beer float, Dad's promises to bring joy to every sip. Dublin, Texas Root Beer. Straight from the heart of Texas, Dublin, Texas Root Beer offers a tantalizing blend of pure sugarcane and secret spices, delivering a flavorful kick that'll have you shouting, "Yee-haw!" with delight. Crafted by Dublin Bottling Works, affectionately known as the Little Town with a Big Taste, this root beer has been quenching the thirst of Texans since 1891. Sprecher Root Beer. Sprecher Root Beer proudly represents the taste of Wisconsin in the world of soda. Crafted through fine brewing techniques, this award-winning root beer combines a special blend of herbs and spices and raw Wisconsin honey to create a truly distinctive and rich flavor profile that keeps customers coming back for more. A favorite among craft soda enthusiasts, Sprecher Root Beer pairs perfectly with a variety of Wisconsin delicacies, whether it's a cheese plate, a bratwurst, or any local culinary delight. With its velvety smooth texture and creamy head, Sprecher Root Beer offers the ultimate comfort beverage for any occasion. Mug Root Beer. In 1940, the Belfast Beverage Company, based in San Francisco, California, introduced Mug Root Beer under the name Belfast Root Beer. Renowned since 1877 for its production of ginger ale and sparkling water, the company ventured into the root beer market with Mug. By 1925, the New Century Beverage Company, known for introducing Crush Soda in 1918, had acquired the Belfast Beverage Company, solidifying its presence in the beverage industry. In the late 1960s, Diet Mug Root Beer, known as sugar-free Mug, was introduced to cater to health-conscious consumers. However, subsequent variations like Mug Cream Soda and Diet Mug Cream Soda have not achieved the same level of popularity. In 1986, Mug Root Beer became Pepsi's designated root beer brand, replacing the on-tap draft style, marking a significant shift in the brand's ownership and positioning within the market. Frosty Root Beer. In 1939, George Rackensperger's Frosty Beverage Company introduced the first Frosty Root Beer, an iconic American brand in Catonsville, Maryland. As the parent company, Frosty Enterprises expanded its reach by acquiring Stewart's Restaurant, a rival root beer brand and chain, in 1971. The Frosty Enterprise growth trajectory continued in 1974 with the acquisition of Dog & Suds Root Beer Drive-In and its brand name, further expanding its presence in the market. However, by the end of 1979, Monarch Beverage Company of Atlanta, Georgia, took ownership of the Frosty brand. After years of limited promotion under Monarch, the Frosty brand found new ownership in 2000 when Leading Edge Brands of Temple, Texas acquired it, following a period where Monarch favored promoting Dad's Root Beer over Frosty. IBC Root Beer. Established in 1919 by the Griesedek family in St. Louis, Missouri, the Independent Breweries Company, now recognized as IBC Root Beer, made its mark during the Prohibition era when root beer emerged as a popular beverage option. Following the closure of Independent Breweries Company, the Kronsberg family, operators of the Northwestern Bottling Company, acquired the trademark for IBC Root Beer. In 1976, the IBC trademark transitioned to Taylor Beverages before being acquired by the 7-Up Company in 1980. The subsequent merger of Dr. Pepper and 7-Up in 1986 facilitated the nationwide distribution of IBC root beer. Eventually, Cadbury Schweppes acquired Dr. Pepper and 7-Up in 1995. While the iconic IBC emblem is no longer molded into the bottle, it is now featured on a plain brown bottle, continuing its legacy in the world of root beer. A&W Root Beer. Since its inception in 1919 by Roy W. Allen, A&W Root Beer has predominantly been available in the United States and Canada. In 1922, Allen partnered with Frank Wright, laying the groundwork for the A&W brand and chain of A&W restaurants. Initially priced at 5 cents, equivalent to 78 cents in 2021, A&W root beer quickly gained popularity. Today, Keurig Dr. Pepper holds the right to the A&W brand, including Canada, and licenses it to the chain of A&W restaurants in the United States. Additionally, several American bottlers distribute A&W root beer brands. So, did you know root beer had such a storied history? Leave a comment below. But that's all for now. See ya!